Okay, let's have a look through the Yugi starter deck, which came out in 2002. Main monster of attack, the Dark Magician, and you could also put Summon Skull up there. Weaker defensively, but attack is the same, and Summon Skull only requires one tribute. There are also other classic monsters. There is Gaia, the Fierce Knight, and there is Curse of Dragon. There is no polymerization and Gaia the Dragon Champion. That did become available in the Legend of Blue Eyes booster pack. But as we go through the Ancient Elf and Satsu, this is in alphabetical order: Baron of the Fiend Sword, Beaver Warrior, Celtic Guardian, Claw Reacher, Curse of Dragon, Dark Magician, Doma the Angel of Silence, 5-star, you do need to tribute to summon that. There is a Dragon Zombie, Feral Imp, Gaia, Giant Soldier of Stone, Great White, Magical Ghost, Mammoth Graveyard, Man-Eating Treasure Chest, a Mystic Clown, Mystical Elf, Neo the Magic Swordsman, Silverfang, Sorcerer of the Doomed, Summon Skull, Winged Dragon Guardian of the Fortress, Woody Phantom, Man-Eater Bug. Okay, we are into the effect monsters now. There are 4 of them in this deck. Man-Eater Bug, which will target one monster on the field and destroy it. Stern Mystic will reveal all face-down cards on the field without activating effects. There is a Trap Master, which can destroy a trap card that is set. And Wall of Illusion, anything that attacks that is returned to the owner's hand. We now into the spell cards, the Book of Secret Arts, as will increase a spellcaster's attack and defense by 300. Very good for this deck. There are quite a lot of spellcasters in this deck, as you see. Card Destruction, that will eliminate both hands and you draw the same number of cards you discarded. Dark Hole destroys all monsters in the field. Dispel will destroy a spell or trap card on the field. Sorry, a spell card. If it's a trap card, it can get flipped back face down. Enkido increases life points by 1,000. Fissure will destroy the opponent's lowest attack, your choice if tied. Monster Reborn will revive one from the graveyard. Reverse Trap can get rid of a trap card. Soul Exchange. Now this card, you can target a monster on your opponent's side of the field and use it as a tribute for a monster you want to summon. So you can tribute an opponent's monster to summon a Curse of Dragon, Summon Skull. You can use it to summon Doma if you really wanted to as well. It is a powerful card. You can sacrifice any one of their monsters. Sword of Dark Destruction, equip only to a dark monster. It gains 400 attack and loses 200 defense. That is very good for a Summon Skull, very good for a Dark Magician. And where were we? Yummy, that increases all Fiend and Spellcaster monsters by 200 attack and defense. Great for Neo, great for Summon Skull. Sorcerer of the Doom, great for Dark Magician. It is also good for Feral Imp, also very good for Baron of the Fiend Sword, and also good for Ancient Elf. We're into the trap cards. Castle Walls increase a monster's defense by 500 during that turn. Dragon Capture Jar, change all dragons to defense. Reinforcements will add 500 attack to the attacking monster, or any monster actually. But reverse Trap, have a read of that effect. It will reverse attack and defense changes. It's a bit of a tricky one. Trap Hole will destroy a monster with 1,000 attack or more that is summoned. 2-pronged attack, you can destroy 2 of your monsters and one of your opponents. Very, very good card. And Wabaku, which will allow you to take no battle damage. Also, pretty good card for this era of the game. You will see 47 cards. There are 50 in the official release. We are missing in this deck. Sorry. One of them is Last Will. So let's chuck that in. That is this card here. If a monster on your side of the field was sent to the graveyard this turn, you can special summon one monster with an attack of 1,500 points or less from your deck once during this turn and shuffle your deck. Not exactly sure why that's banned. The effect isn't that powerful. There are other cards that do that effect, if we're being completely honest, but as it is banned, we cannot use it during play. Change of Heart. This also applies for the Kaiba deck. No, it doesn't. Kaiba deck doesn't have Change of Heart. So, Kaiba deck doesn't have Change of Heart, and it doesn't have Last Will. So there is Change of Heart. Target one monster your opponent controls, take control of it until the end phase. Obviously, that is very, very overpowered. It's easy to see why that is banned. And the last one, now this is for both decks. Ultimate Offering. There it is. During your main phase or your opponent's battle phase, you can pay 500 life points immediately after this effect resolves. Normal, summon, or set one extra monster. Pretty good card. There is a reason why that is banned. It can pretty much alter the turn of a duel just on that card alone. That is in both Yugi and Kaiba decks. That's why Kaiba's deck has 49, because it's missing that Ultimate Offering card. So that's the missing cards out of the decks. In multiplayer mode, we can't play them. Now, having a look at Kaiba's deck, obviously the strongest card is the Blue Eyes White Dragon. The next strongest is Judgment at 2200. That is quite a difference. The next strongest after that is Swordstalker at 2000. After that it is Lejin. So comparing that to the Yugi deck, Yugi's deck is a lot more balanced, is what my first thought is between the two decks, especially in defense. As you see, 1000 defense, 1100, 1200, 11, 1000. Gyakuten Megami has 2000, but you have to sacrifice a monster to get it to the field. Whereas there is no high defense, just normal summon monsters. That again requires a tribute. 1550 is probably Kaiba's best. So as we're looking through his cards here, now if we look at the Yugi deck again, Yugi has Mystical Elf at 2000 defense, and he also has the Giant Soldier of Stone. Wherever it is. There it is. They both have 2000 defense, so Yugi's deck offensively and defensively is a lot more balanced than Kaiba's. Let's well, we've had a quick flick through all of the normal monsters already. Let's have a look at the effects. Hain, that's not too bad. That can send one monster back to the owner's hand. Lord of D, neither player can target dragon monsters on the field with card effects. That also goes hand in hand with the Flute of Summoning Dragon. Special summon up to 2 dragon monsters from your hand. That is very powerful for this generation of Yu-Gi-Oh! Mysterious Puppeteer, great card. Increase your life points by 500 points every time a monster is summoned. It also has decent defense. Yugi also has Wall of Illusion for defense, which even is a bigger up on Kaiba. The Wicked Worm Beast, that card is rubbish. It will return to your hand after the end phase of your turn, and it's not even that strong. Trap Master, he's okay, he can destroy a trap card on the field. Now let's have a look at the spell cards. Ancient Telescope, see the top 5 cards of your opponent's deck, return them in the same order. Dark Energy, a Fiend monster will have its attack and defense increased by 300. Dark Hole, destroys all monsters. D-Spell, again, destroy a spell or trap card, or you can flip a trap. Target one face-up spell or one set spell trap. If it is a spell, it's destroyed. It doesn't destroy trap cards. Fissure, obviously destroy the lowest attack on your opponent's side of the field, your choice if tied. Invigoration, earth monsters will receive a 400 point attack boost, a 200 defense loss. Monster Reborn can summon a monster from the graveyard. Ukazi will do 800 points of direct damage. Remove Trap will destroy a face-up trap card on the field. Sojin is a field spell. All Warrior and Beast Warrior monsters gain 200. Flew to Summoning Dragon, which we covered. The inexperience by select and see one card in your opponent's hand. So 1 and 2 cards aren't really that useful going on in the duel, to be honest. Castle Walls, that will increase a defense by 500 points. Just Desserts, pretty decent card, 500 damage to your opponent for each monster they control. There is Reinforcements, 500 attack for a monster of choice. There is Reverse Trap, as we saw also in the Yugi deck. There is also a Trap Hole and a 2-pronged attack. So there are some cards which are the same in the two decks as well, as you see, but overall, comparing the two decks, I really do prefer the Yugi deck. In terms of attack and defense, it is just so much more balanced. You've also got this 1700 and 1600, both there. You only need one tribute for Summon Skull. It's, all in all, it's just a stronger deck in, I would say, my opinion, but surely with all these arguments, even though Kaiba has the Blue Eyes White Dragon, it just doesn't make up the difference between the next strongest only being 2200, although you can put an Invigoration on the Judgment and get him to 26, 2800 with a Sojin as well, if you wanted to look at it like that. You can special summon with this Yugi's deck, since Ultimate Offering isn't relevant, since we have had to remove them to actually be able to play them on the digital versions. Can technically special summon, but out of the two decks, I would pick Yugi. So let's get into our first set of duels.